What's up, guys? Matocaster here again, and CMS 18 just can't get enough. So we're back again, and I think we're going for another junkyard run. See what we can find to build ourselves today. Hopefully something cool, something different, maybe. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing just fine. Can't complain. Always excited to make a new CMS 2018 video. And here we are at the junkyard. See what we can find here today at the junkyard. Now this is interesting. This is like one of those airport trucks. Ford F-350, where back in the day, some of the planes, or even nowadays, some of the planes that are smaller chartered planes and stuff, will just pull right up to the door and you just walk down the stairway. I have not seen this one yet. I have not come across that yet. That's definitely wild. And here we have, what, a Corvette. Sure enough, C1 Corvette. But basically all that's left is the frame, seats, and a V8. That would make for a fun go-kart, though. A V8 go-kart. For sure. What do we have here? Back here in this corner, we have a FC RX-7 Turbo 2. I guess they call them the Savannah. This is the right-hand drive. Savannah. This car is close to my heart because I actually used to own this car. Not a right-hand drive version, but I had a Mazda RX-7 that I miss dearly. I really do. I never should have sold that car. I was going to college at the time, and I was an idiot. And the blew an apex seal out of the engine, and so sadly had to. That was a common thing with these RX-7s. Oh, look over here. We've got the Porsche 550. That's what it is. 1955 replica. That's pretty cool. But now that I've seen this, I mean, this is near and dear to my heart, and I think this is the car we're going to be doing. I seen it. I got to have it. We're building it. Let's put it in the garage. Guys, that's what we're doing. RX-7 today. FC. And here it is. It needs a lot of stuff. It's in pretty rough shape. Let's go ahead and move it over to lifter A. I doubt the engine will turn. We can find out. Oh, yeah. There's a rotor housing missing. Yeah. It's rough. I didn't even bother looking. Usually I look all this stuff over, but you know, the car. This is the first time I've come across it. I knew it was in the game as a mod, and I knew that as soon as I saw it, I was gonna grab it because memories, you know. Okay, let's use this, and that already makes the car look quite a bit better. Wondering if we should just recreate the one I had. I don't know if that would be. It wouldn't really work because it's right-hand drive and everything. And mine had the round taillights. This one, I believe, has the... mine was a 91. 90 or 91. That had the series... I think they call it the Series 5. It's been a long time. It's been a long time on that car. All right. Well, we can start by bringing it up in the air. We can pull out what's left of this rotary engine here. I'll take the engine crane, move you over to car lifter A. Yeah, man, all the feels seeing this car. Hated getting rid of it. Hated selling mine. But what are you going to do? Would have cost me so much more to get the engine rebuilt than I had at the time because I was just a poor college student. So if I could only hunt that car down now, it's worth a lot more now than it was when I had it. I had it back in, let's see, this would have been 2001, somewhere in there. And since then, in the past 20 years, these things have exploded in value to the point where it's like unbelievable how much money they're getting out of these. Even the FCs, the FDs are hardly, they're like untouchable. It seems like for anything what I would call reasonable. Back in the 20 years ago, you could get an FD. Let's pull out the engine. Sorry, I'm rambling here, guys. You could get an FD for around $13,000, $15,000, and then now it's just insane. Let's add our engine here and get to work. There is little left of this 13B. Let's see, what do we want to take off first? We'll go grab this clutch release bearing, pressure plate, clutch plate, and the flywheel. Yeah, there's something special about rotary engines. They're so cool. Now, if I would have known back then how to rebuild a rotary, there's a rotor right there, then I would have done it myself, but I did not know at the time. Well, I doubt I could do one these days. I don't know. I've never messed with one, pulling it apart. I've only maintained the one that I had. Okay, so we've got a lot of work to do for this engine. Let's use the repair bench. See if we can repair any of this. And place what we can back. There we go. And we can put it in this housing. Oh, we've got a fuel filter. A fuel filter location is just floating there. We got the crankshaft. We are going to need to repair or replace that. All right, so I got some shopping to do. So let's get to building this engine. All right, we got our rotor housing here. And then our rotor. And if you don't know what I was talking about when I was talking about apex seals, you can kind of see them at the tip of each one of the... Here, I'll do this. Come in. You see, like right in here, this little channel right here at the tip of each rotor, there's a seal that goes there on each one, and as the rotor rotates to make power, it uses that seal for the, so it's not... Basically, it's like piston rings. It's sealing off from the exhaust chamber to the combustion chamber and all that. Keeps that all sealed off. With these rotary engines, the 13Bs and stuff, were notorious for the apex seals failing. Just kind of what happens sometimes with these rotaries. It all depends on how they're maintained and how they're driven and stuff like that. I've known some to go quite a long ways, even with people beating on them hard. And I've heard of other rotary engines that have been babied that they'll blow their seals at 40,000 miles. It's just one of those things with that was kind of one of the downsides to the rotary engine, that and the wasn't very fuel efficient, but it was an amazing design. Pretty incredible how it worked. Just a few moving parts, far less than in a regular engine. But yeah, that's what happened to mine. I blew the apex seals, which is essentially kind of like blowing your engine. You have to do a full tear down and pull everything out and replace it. Again, if I sound depressed, it's because I am. I really miss that car. Yeah. If money were no object, I tell you, I'd hunt that car down. Okay, we got an exhaust manifold here. Some of you probably already knew all that about rotary engines, especially if you're watching this video. Ooh, RX-7. Got a nice upgraded turbo system here. Intake manifold B. But maybe some of you didn't know. It's always good to learn something, right? Fuel rail. Intake manifold A up here. And then we got our throttle body. Spin around, get back here. We'll go ahead and do the fuel filter now. Oil filter. Spark plugs. I did performance. Everything I could. There's not a whole lot for the rotary, but there is some here and there, like the coils. There's an upgrade for that. And the wires. Ignition wires there. We got our water pump here for the rotary. Such a cool design. Wankel. Forget his first name. Designed it. It was something German. I remember that much. It's going to come to me later. Is it Felix Wankel? I think it might be Felix Wankel. Designed the rotary engine. I'm going to have to look it up now. Ha! It was Felix Wankel. That was his name. Yeah. Had to be sure. Wanted to make sure I wasn't lying to you guys. Okay. Or if somebody would call me out. No. Not Felix, you idiot. Get our serpentine belt there. Arm B here for the, I believe it houses, yeah, the power steering pump. On that goes. Got an arm down here. Idler roller B. serpentine belt be? There's an idler roller that goes there. And one that goes there. I believe that's the front built out. Yep. And is that the... Oh, we got the flywheel back here. We could put that on right now if we want to. Clutch plate. I believe I still need to go get a clutch release bearing. I don't believe I have that. Double check. I do not. So that is... Yeah, that's it. Not a lot to them. Only 1.3 liters on these little guys. Before we go sticking the engine in, I want to check all this stuff out. I wonder why there's 2 brake servos here. That's interesting. Get the battery out and get that on the charger. ABS pump, see if we need to fix that. Got an intercooler accessible from car on the lifter. Let's go ahead and take it up. And I believe we're missing the radiator in here. Find out what that is and get that replaced. All right, there's the intercooler right there. Except in my case, it was up on top of the engine. I guess it could have been relocated at some point. There we go. That's how we get it. See what we can repair of any of this. So we will need an intercooler down here. Oh, we got a barn map. Sweet. Yes, by all means. Must have found that somewhere. So we need a brake servo and a small intercooler. Go ahead and install our small intercooler. There it is. Oh yes, we need radiator A. Okay. But we'll take care of that when we get to the engine bay. That all kind of, sort of rhymed. I threw the battery on the charger over there, so it's currently charging. Okay, just dropped our radiator in there, and we got our fan housing. Got that all done. Got, let's see, the other brake servo. We got, those are good to go. And then, oh, we do need our ABS module. I know that much, because I didn't get that. Go right over here. ABS module right there. Beautiful. And throw that guy on there. Bolt it down. And I think we'll pretty much be ready for our engine. Let's take the engine off the stand. Then use this to install. Yes. Then you can go back where you came from. Now we have our 13B rotary engine sitting nestled into its little place. Now these were considered pretty much mid-engine cars, and the reason they would do that is that the engine was technically set back behind the front wheels. I don't know if you knew that either. Some people refer to them as that. But technically, the combustion chamber and everything of the engine was set behind the front wheels. Okay, where do we want to go next with all of this? Figure might as well just go ahead and do the front suspension. And then we'll get to the body after we take care of our suspension system. Get our wheels off of here, or wheel off here. This all looks pretty rough under here. This poor RX-7 has been neglected. Brake disc ventilated. Wheel hubcap. Get that bearing out of there. Wheel hub. And then we can get the knuckle cover off. Pull off our shock. Oh, we need to get that front end link first. Gotta take care of that front shock absorber A. Outer tie rod. Inner tie rod. Lower control arm. Pop that off. We can take our knuckle. And that'll do it. Might as well get these rubber bushings while we're over here. Just easier to reach them there. Okay, and then I'll speed it up for the other side, guys. Okay, now we can pull our rubber bushings and we can drop our cross member. Just like that. All right, repaired what I could, replaced what I could. Time to build out our front end here. Get our cross member in. Rubber bushing there. And then one right there. This car really needs everything. It's in rough shape. And get our steering rack on. I was just realizing we don't have a bit of exhaust. That was all missing. our inner tie rod, as well as our outer. Now we can attach our lower suspension arm. And before I forget, let's run over here and build out our shock assembly. That's how that's done. Just sit there and let that compress, decompress, and then you got it. Do it again. The other side. And decompress. And we got it. Perfect. Back to where we were. Got our newly assembled shock assembly there. Then we can put our front end link there. Then our steering knuckle D. Come on now. There we go. As well as our wheel hub. Tighten that down. We can do our bearing down in there. Hub cap to protect that bearing. And then we got our brake pads and caliper. I believe that builds out the front end here, yes. So we'll just worry about wheels and tires when we get there. All right, time for the other side. Okay. That is that side completed. And get this wheel and tire off. Onto the brake caliper. Brake pads. We'll get this drive axle out of here. Wheel hub 3. The steering knuckle. We'll get rid of these bolts. We can get rid of the U-bolt plate. Remove the rubber bushing. If only it were that easy in real life. Remove the control arm. As well as our shock absorber. Spring cap. Spring. And then the spring mount thingy-majigger there. Let's go ahead and pull out the fuel tank now. There is one piece of exhaust. There it is. It's right there. I'll just get that out of the way because we're going to need to. Okay, that's that. On to the other side. And there we go. That is all the rear end had to offer. We're going to repair what we can and replace what we can't. And get right back to putting it all back together. Time to rebuild the rear end. First, let's go ahead and throw this fuel tank in while I'm thinking about it. And then we've got our performance fuel pump right there. Hopefully give us a few more horsepower. Rear knuckle axle. Yeah. Housing C. There we go. I'm trying to talk faster than I can think. Solid rear drive axle. In it goes. Then we'll be ready to start putting on the control arm. Get our rubber bushing in there as need to be. Spring plate. Leaf U-bolt spring. You know what I mean. There we go. Get that in there. Get the other U-bolt on. Then we're ready for our spring cap. Our rear spring. And then our other rear cap. Now we can do our rear shock absorber there. Tighten it down right there. Beautiful. Onto the brakes. Brake disc. Brake pads. Then we can do our caliper. Tighten that down. And guys, that's it. On to the other side. Okay, now that that's done, I think we should move on to some exhaust and driveline stuff. Let's get our gearbox there. Kind of tight angle here. Scoot back a little bit. There we go. We will need a starter. I don't believe nope, we don't have one of those. Let's spin around here. Go ahead and connect our drive shaft while we're here. Get that. Tighten down. There we go. Get our starter in while we're down here, while we're thinking about it. And we can start to put together our exhaust. So we'll need a front exhaust section for rotary catalytic converter, middle muffler, exhaust pipe, and finally we'll need rear muffler. Okay, for the V8. So it's kind of a hodgepodge here. Okay, I got the front section in. Now we can do our catalytic converter. Luckily, I was able to find everything but that front section and the performance part to give us just a little bit more horsepower, even the exhaust pipe. And we'll run back here to the rear muffler, which they're using rear muffler V8. So that is the exhaust system done. Now I think it's time. What do we want to do now? First, we can go get that battery, throw it in here. I'm sure it's charged up by now. I'll take that, run it back over here, and get it installed. There you go. Perfect. From there, I say we pick out some wheels and tires for our Mazda RX-7. And I'm noticing here they have pretty much the same wheels that my car had. But mine were white. I think, guys, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make my old car. I'm gonna do 2 17s for the front and then 2 18s for the back. There we go. And then we shall pick out some tires to complete this set. I think I'll go with race tires. It's a good balance. Do 225, say 35. For the fronts, and then do for the rears, we'll go 300 or 295. We'll do 305. $35 for the rear. That's what we'll do. Of course, got to paint the wheels white for accuracy. Now we can install our tire onto the wheels and get to balancing these. I think it's a good balance. Tire to rim ratio. The 35 sidewall works well. All right, time to install. These are the 17s we want. The 18s for the rear. On you go. Doesn't really look all that white, but that's as white as I can get it to go. But it's close enough. It'll work for me. Not a big deal. Get the fronts on there slightly smaller. I think that's a nice balance right there, guys. That looks good. Looks racy to me. Looks fast. Lower this thing down, and we'll get to pay attention to these body parts here that need attention paid to them. That window is definitely in bad shape. Interior doesn't look too bad. I'm missing a steering wheel. But yeah, not too bad. Take off this rear bumper here. I think that's all that's back here that really needs to be removed. Everything else looks pretty good. We're definitely going to need some glass there. Let's see if we can repair some of this stuff here. It looks like we were able to repair pretty good. Let's check out the interior. I want to grab these seats and make sure they're in decent shape. I'm guessing they're probably not, being that it was sitting in a junkyard. Get down here and look. Yeah, they are shot. Now, not to keep harping on it, but my RX-7 had that special edition Momo interior, which was really cool. It had a Momo steering wheel and all that. Speaking of, we need to pick out a steering wheel for our RX-7 here. Ha ha ha, there's some memories there, except everything's backwards. Let's get into body assembly, or interior assembly mode there, and there we go. Steering wheel is on. We were not able to repair the rear bumper. Wonder why the spoiler is called front end. That's interesting. We do need taillights. Were we able to repair the... Yeah, no, on that one. And yes, we were able to repair this one. The hood. How about the hood? Yep, that came out good. Not crazy about this green. That was restorable. And what about this door? Is in bad shape. Front left door. Okay, we got our front left door there. Left side mirror. Front left door window. Go on to the side. We might need a side mirror for there. Yes, we do. We got that side mirror on. Front right door. We can get our front windshield in. We are coming together here. We get our front bumper on. Get that taken care of. That license plate needs attention. We'll get that figured out soon enough. Worry about the body stuff right now. Get that glass in. Get the front end on. That's perfect. That's the exact spoiler I had and everything. Sorry for me to keep harping on. Oh, that is like what I had, the round tail lights. That's what mine was. Sorry to keep harping on my old RX-7, but man, that's it. That's looking like it. Yeah, we will need to, that's what it was. We need to figure out, we'll figure out our own license plates here soon enough. Are we missing anything else? Oh, the trunk window. Oh, okay, so we just bought the outer shell. We need to get the trunk window. There it is right there. In you go. There it is with the defrost lines and everything. Awesome. And this is looking good. Time to paint it. Move it to the paint shop. And I think you know what color it's going to be. For nostalgia reasons, I just gotta see my old car again. Matte is the closest. They don't give you an option of just a regular non-pearl, non-metallic. I mean that looks pretty close. Between those two, we'll go metallic. That looks good. And there she goes. Painted red, just like I remember. Oh man, turn around and look at it. Whew. Some memories there. Let's throw it over to the dyno. I do need to, yeah, I was going to say add oil. I didn't think it would let me throw it over there without oil. We'll take care of that right now. Get that oil in there. Then we'll be good to see what kind of improvements we made. I think the stock horsepower, something around 250, something like that. Move it over to the dyno. And hopefully not blow any apex seals. Man, that's my old car. Wow. Unreal. Sorry, guys. I know. I'm harping on this thing. There's a rubber bushing missing. I know right where it is, too, I bet. No, that one's in, and that one's in. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh, I bet it's on the cross member. Right there and right there. Will it let me do it from in here? Hey, maybe it will. Yeah. How about that? I've never tried that before. Now I know that works. Let's try that. Try that again. Proceed with the dyno. Yes. Okay. 291 was stock. Wow. And here we go. Let's see what we made. What kind of improvements we made with our little upgrades. $402 over 348. I'll take it. For sure. For this size of car, for this weight of a car, and how high revving these rotaries will rev. Man, what a car. Okay, let's move it to the garage entrance A. I always like to walk out of the dyno or the paint booth room to this and seeing our finished product. Yeah, the back tires are a little bit big, but I actually kind of like that for what it is. I'm not too worried about it. I dig it. Yeah, it doesn't really look white. The wheels don't really look white, but close enough. That's as close as I could get it. Let's do ourselves some Land of the Rising Sun plates for our friends in Japan. I just think that looks cool. And, you know, that's where these were made, so. Throw that on there. Looks. All right, let's take our RX-7 out. Let's run it at the speed track, see what kind of top speed we get out of it. And this mod is done so well. I'm so familiar with this interior, except it's just backwards is all. And off we go. Now I like those wheels, not necessarily as a daily driver, but as a drag car, as a performance type thing that we're doing. with this car. We're at 150, 160, 170. Wow, this car can go. 177 is what we got. I'll take it. Not bad at all. Better than I expected. Here we are at the abandoned airport with our FC Mazda RX-7. I'm going to slide it around a little bit. It definitely has that rotary sound, that kind of weed eater. I do miss that. The high revving rotary, man. They are a blast. We gotta do our J-turn test. Yeah, not bad. I could just do donuts in this thing. Doing a little drifting out of it. It's really squirrely for that. Like, these tires aren't the best for that kind of thing. But it is fun. It's still fun nonetheless. Alright, back to the garage. See what kind of money we made on our restoration. Do want to sit in it again. That is brings back a lot of memories, just backwards. Yeah, it was a very dated interior, I know, but it was cool. Just the memories it brings back. Definitely a car I miss, if you can't tell. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. All right. Guys, this one's going in the stable. I'm keeping it. I'm going to hang on to it for a little while longer. I think you understand why. I ran the numbers. Our profit on this car was a little over $15,000 if we were to sell it, which I'm not going to. I might change the wheels up a little bit. I'll just mess around with it for a while and have some fun with it. Guys, that's going to do it for this one. I really appreciate it. Had a lot of fun with the rotary and I'm just a sucker for RX-7s. Hopefully we'll come across another FD soon or something and do that. But until then, guys, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.